Yeah.
Just letting you know.
People are gonna be looking all in your ear hole. The whole podcast. They're just looking directly in there.
Yep.
Get things rolling.
Yeah, I think.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the SPE Studio Podcast. I'm one of your hosts, DJ Farrow, here with Matthias, special guest, Optimus Prime, Eric, and Justin. And today we're going to be talking about music production and some futuristic music production technology. So,
Excellent.
A few new pieces of gear that dropped at NAMM, however you guys want to pronounce it, is the MPC-1, which is a standalone MPC that is, I think, more affordable than MPCs generally have been. It's like $400. And then also a new Launchpad, which, if you use Ableton, a lot of people use a Launchpad. Have you guys heard about either of these pieces of software?
I heard about the MPC-1. I didn't hear about the Launchpad.
Let's see if we can get a quick general update on it. You didn't hear about the new Launchpad?
No.
Let's check out the MPC-1 first. Oh, just kidding. It's $700. Not that much cheaper. I was very incorrect. This college keeps coming up.
MPC College?
Yeah.
Is that local here in the Chicagoland area or?
Monterey Peninsula.
I don't know where that is.
It looks like it's in Michigan or Wisconsin.
That's why I don't know where
actually.
it is.
Wow. It's not very SEO friendly.
Maybe as it becomes more popular.
Maybe
once they run some sales, stuff will start popping up.
All right, yeah, $6.99, not that cheap. The original standalone music production workstation. The Akai MPC experience has always been about getting your hands on your music, no computer required. Musicians just sweet water. Oh, I'm doing a commercial now. Powered by the MPC software, loaded with loops and samples and effects. I don't know. How do you guys feel about music production in general with something standalone like that?
Unless you're doing it on your phone, I don't see the point.
Yeah, I see. I know what you mean. Because I actually bought an MPC at some point, and then I sold it to buy a computer because I thought that was a way smarter thing to do.
Well, I mean, like in the 80s when you didn't have anything except for an 8-track recorder,
yeah,
you were pretty much limited to your standalone hardware.
Mm-hmm.
But why would you try to limit yourself by buying something that's standalone when you can just... I mean, who doesn't have a laptop laying around that can run some basic mid-quality production software and spend your money on the hardware that plugs in via USB. And
yeah, I agree. It's just not something for me. I wouldn't really necessarily need it because whenever I'm doing music production, I'm always connected straight into Ableton.
So why do you think they continue to build those things? Is it because of, you think it's different creative types?
Yeah, some people feel like when they're on the software that they are like limited in some way, or like they don't want to be looking at a computer, they want to be doing everything hands-on. So I think that's who it's for. Mm-hmm. But when I started making music, I was just doing it on a computer. So to me, that doesn't really connect. I mean, because think about it. We got the Machine Studio in there in the studio. And like that can do everything that MPC can do if you have it connected to a computer.
Exactly. And what do we resort to doing pretty much is using the keyboard at all times, pretty much. The thing is, when those, in regards to limiting yourself to the samples and loops that are native to something like that, I don't see the point in that. I think creatively speaking, like people can definitely jog their ideas and riff something with that based on the fact that it is limited, but if you're already producing something in your head that you already know what you need, like where the kick is going, like you just need to get to the coding already. That's like almost for like some fun live jam kind of stuff. You know, with production, like there's no need for that. You already know where all your positions are, unless you're riffing some sort of break beat, hip hop beat that you want to like use some pads to create something that's not going to come to you naturally.
Mm-hmm.
I do see the value in those.
Okay.
For that, for just riffing. And sometimes just taking the keyboard and switching it to the pads also will make you play something differently. You know, like a different melody you wouldn't necessarily do because it's on the pads.
Yeah, just because the controller is arranged in a different way.
And it's super high the sensitivity of them is also very effective. But
does your portable controller, your USB MIDI controller, does that have pads on it, or is it just keys?
I think it's got like.
No, just keys. The little,
the backpack size one.
Yeah, no, that's the same one you have.
It's a little bit different because mine's super tiny.
Oh, okay.
And it's just keys. But I was just wondering because I was thinking like, when I want to get an idea down, I really struggle at programming things in just in the software by clicking it with a mouse or a touchpad or using the keyboard that's on the computer.
Yeah,
I can't stand that.
That's how I started. So like, I have no problem on any gear. If I have any MIDI controller with me, I'm like, all right, this is perfect. This is good, more than enough that I need.
Like, so that's what I'm saying. Those tools are good for like if someone's trying to get out the music vibe, they just want to get out their idea. Some people want to actually play and play like they're like they mean it, whack their fucking sample pad.
Those MPC pads
are like,
good.
oh, well, I already know where that needs to go, so I'll just click on the grid and put the kicks where they need to be. I don't need to slam on a pad, and because I know where everything is going to go. But as far as brainstorming ideas, I think there are definitely benefits to the machine, especially with like weird patterns and syncopation.
And you were talking about the pads. If you think about it, the pads that are on DJ controllers basically came from MPCs. Because like other beat machines, they had buttons, but they weren't as good as the MPCs. And I feel like DJ controllers and mixers and stuff now basically have like clones of what the MPC pads were or are. And the other piece of gear that dropped is a new launch pad. Have you guys ever used launch pads before?
Yes.
Yeah.
Obvious. Yeah, for Ableton.
Yeah, it is for
Scotty
Ableton.
has one. That's where we play. Again, a totally different creative direction. Using, lots of. It's like. It
looks about the same.
Live producing, dropping out loops and bringing them back in at the right time. You know how much memorization this takes to use these things and to remember your sets and.
Because it looks just like the Ableton Push, but with less buttons on it to help you go through menus and stuff. Like it looks like it's just pads and then a couple other like play buttons.
Sure.
But it is also a lot cheaper than getting an Ableton Push. So I definitely can see why someone would want to grab that.
And you said that's around the same price?
This one, I don't see a price point on it yet. But I'm looking now.
So the purpose of these pads, guys, is basically workflow. People, when they're making a loop or a dance track, they typically have, different layers of the song. And those pads are essential to turning them on and off based on like where the track is in its timeline. So if you can kind of write the song kind of by feeling with those pads, you want to just get into a groove and you want to kill the kick after a few bars and then bring it back in. Sometimes that kind of creative approach is not possible when you're just working on a laptop.
Oh yeah.
So I think this is always an effective tool, but it's totally dependent on how your workflow is.
Like anything, it's like learning a new instrument.
Sure.
Yeah.
And people that don't understand music and count and much, this is a great way to understand like why dance music is made the way it does, because it's so laid out.
I think it's just a good way to try a different workflow. Like when I would just make stuff just on my computer with just the computer keyboard and like clicking and dragging in notes. Like, that was good enough for me, but then I started using a MIDI piano, and I was like, oh, this is cool. I could try this too. And then sometimes I go back and forth, and then I got the Ableton Push and use that all the time. So it just depends on what situation. It can totally affect the way you're making music and, like, inspire you in different ways. I kind of like sometimes if I'm just, say if I'm, like, waiting somewhere and just have my laptop to work on something, I like that it's limited in what you can do. Like, the limitation kind of makes you make songs a different way. Does that make sense?
100%. You have to get straight to the point. You race past your first steps. You're like, I need a kick, I need a snare, I need hi-hats, I need to get...
Yeah, you just sort of start rolling.
I need a backbone
already.
right now. Get me going. And then, before you know it, you make these split-second decisions that eventually make the loop sound good. But, yeah, sometimes.
Yeah, and you were talking about being able to make stuff standalone, like on your phone. Mm-hmm. What did you think about our student Donovan making a song in GarageBand on his phone? Like, that was pretty crazy.
I was blown away.
Like, he said he's looking for a singer for it, and he just made it on his phone.
So when I first heard that, I was like, yeah, there's no way. And then I listened to it, and I was like, okay, that's actually really, really good. But it's just a bunch of loops, right? It's like pre-made sounds and loops. Like, you can't edit that too much.
He said that you can edit it. I don't know how much he edited it, so it might have been a lot of, like, pre-made loops. Mm-hmm. But he said you could go in and edit even the notes of each MIDI clip that's a loop.
Yeah, like what Matthias brought up about using the standalone, what was it, the MPC-1?
Yeah.
If you can take that and get an idea down and then import it into your software later and make the tweaks that you want, I'm all for that.
Yeah, that
sounds
cool.
like a great idea. I could not
finish music using that thing necessarily. It's
well, I wouldn't want to start on a platform that you can't make your final product.
Right, exactly.
So I would need to whatever the bare minimum is to be able to transfer everything over to your final production suite. I would have to start there. I couldn't start anywhere else.
Yeah, I feel you on that.
And I don't have any experience using GarageBand on my phone, so I don't.
I mean, I could see, like, if there was a way for me to, like, sketch melodies and stuff and then be able to export it. Maybe it's probably more compatible with, like, Logic than it would be for trying to do with Ableton. But I think if you can get ideas down on it, that'd be, like, a pretty cool thing to do. Or just, like, even trying to write a melody on your phone.
Think about study hall in high school. Like, if you had this, what they have now.
Oh, it would be amazing.
Study.
The advantage that they have now to start and a lot earlier, the generation before us, is incredible because the technology is obviously advancing, obviously at these rates, and you can make a dance beat on your phone in, an hour. Using loops and samples and this stuff, it's bullshit.
Well, how about the last couple of years whenever we went to Vegas, we'd have a couple rows on the plane. A couple of the guys would be working on mixing. A couple of the guys would be working on making a new beat. So you've got your laptop out, you've got your little tiny controller. Mm-hmm. What if you could just do it on your phone? It would be a lot easier, and you wouldn't have to carry all that stuff.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And inspiration always strikes, right? And a lot of times it's very hard to, like, capture it in the moment. You sometimes have to wait for it or demand that it shows up. So any mobile application that enables the artist to, like, solidify their ideas right on the mark there is going to succeed, even if we don't like the fact that it's so cookie cutter down to using pre-selected loops and samples, but we're doing that regardless. As producers, everybody is still tweaking and using sounds that are
from somewhere else,
tossed up for us. We still need a kick made by someone. How many kick samples are there out there? Trillions, more than
probably
stars
trillions
in the universe, right? So we're not digging through that many, but you just have to find one that's like, yes, it gets the job done,
So what do you usually do?
But we're still, the process is super similar.
What do you usually do if you get an idea for a song? Like, if you don't have GarageBand on your phone, like, what do you do? And you can't use your computer at the time.
I pull a voice recorder and I just start humming it.
That's what I do. I do the same
to my
thing.
phone.
I'll just start whistling it and be like, this melody is going to be sick later. And then I spend 3 hours trying to
should we go pull up our phones and
trying to
see what's in there?
what I whistled because my ear training isn't that
I
good.
used to walk the dog and take an old MP3 player. It's like a piece of junk, and I put MP3s on there from beats made by these DJs I knew in California, and they would make these songs, and I was doing a lot of vocal stuff back then, and I would just riff, but
Sort of
it
like
was
freestyle on it.
Yeah, freestyle during the whole 45-hour long walk with the dog. I
hours.
and we'd just be walking.
My dog, I'd be carrying my dog pretty soon.
My dog would be
died
carrying me.
about 30 miles ago.
Is that long for a dog walk?
45 hours?
45 hours. We're just giving you a hard time.
No, not 45 hours. Minutes. But those were some the moments where if I had a mobile device to lock in a harmony. So a lot of times, let's say you're a vocalist and you're writing your own pattern and you're writing your own riff or a part to a chorus or whatever, and you come up with the perfect harmony for it, right? There's so many different harmony combinations you can come up with to a lead. And so let's say you're on your dog walk or whatever, like, sure, I can try and sing the harmony that I made up while I'm listening to, like, the track that I have so far, but, like, I can't track it perfectly in key to the original song. I can guess the harmony, but there's no way I can track it. But if I had the mobile software to hear the track or the production that I've been working on up until that point in time, and I'm be like, oh, I have a new part for it. Let me pull out the software and lay it down. I think that's valuable.
Yeah.
Because now I can lay it down over, my project. I can't do that right now. Right?
Yeah, I see. So like if you had a way to not do just a rough sketch, to do like a more like focused version, that's what you would like want to do.
Yeah, only because if you're, let's say, like I said, you're listening to a work in progress and you're on the treadmill or whatever, and you're working on the ideas in your head, you're visualizing the next parts and whatever. If you get that moment of inspiration, that shit will go away. That shit's gone in minutes if you don't lock it in. So anything I can have to really put that idea down instantly is good.
To be honest, I barely listen to stuff I'm working on other than when I'm working on it, because I hate getting like sick of listening to my own songs, and I want to be excited when I go in the studio the next time to work on it.
Oh, well,
that's just like my take. If you're working on vocals, you have to listen to the song a bunch of times.
Yeah, that's a different thing. Yeah, vocals, you're repeating it over and over. It's on repeat. It's on repeat. You're working a different vocal on it constantly. It's a different process. But as a producer, yes, you should only bounce once in a while. You should wait until you're ready, because it can. That's the loop land syndrome.
Yeah, loop land.
I'll tell you what I want to see is some type of what's it?
Let me go.
Got a few.
I get one time out because I need more water.
You're good.
Yeah. Also, he's gonna want to move my car.
Yeah.
So just give him my keys, and or you can move it
Where are your keys?
on the front office table.
This next question I want to direct at Kelsey, just because we haven't heard from her.
Okay.
Not to like put you on the spot, and there's no wrong answers.
All right.
Do you think it's important for a DJ to also make their own music?
Yeah, I would say so. 'Cause like, I don't know. I feel like it's not the point. Like, isn't that what you guys want to be doing? For the most part,
Some people don't. Some people just want to DJ. Like, I like making music, but I didn't at one point.
Why?
So I just felt like I just wanted to DJ. I was like, oh, production, that's like for other people. But then I didn't really jump into it until I basically jumped on it when I saw every other DJ was like producing their own stuff.
Yeah.
And then I felt like, okay, maybe I should just try and learn it, because it's like a good skill to have. It'll probably up my musical ability and like make my DJing better. So then I started doing
that's what I think. I think that, and then I mean, if you're like, I feel like a lot of DJs are trying to like get out there and get more popular and get a name. And like, if you want that, like, I feel like you have to be doing your own stuff too.
Yeah. Because people don't just listen to mixes anymore
Right.
like they used to. Like I used to be able to put out mixes and people would actually listen to it. Now it's not the same because there's so many mixes and so much music out there that it's kind of hard to cut through all those people to get noticed.
Well, plus like with like mixes that you're making, like people are going to hear these songs over and over again, and like you're going to get sick of them at some point, and it's nice to hear something different that you've never heard before.
Yeah.
And
You could
that-
also do that with a mix, like always put new mixes out with songs people haven't heard.
Yeah, that's true. But I mean, I feel like everything gets old eventually, you know.
It does. That is true.
Do you ever, when you're listening to music, specifically something that a DJ would be playing, do you listen to DJ mixes on your phone when you're driving around or when you're maybe working out? Or do you, when you're going out to a club, do you pay attention to who is the DJ that night? Or are you just looking for music by an artist that you want to hear?
I would say for the most part, I'm usually just looking for like music by an artist that I want to hear. When I'm like out, I'm not really paying attention what I'm listening to, but when I'm working out, that's like the only thing in my head that I have to focus on. So if I can find like a really good mix to listen to, that's when I'm like listening to like DJ mixes, because like I'm running all the time, and like I really want something that's got like a good beat, that's like upbeat with like a good pace for like when I'm running, and like that's like the main time I'm like listening to that kind of thing.
Where do you find that, or how do you discover music?
Spotify.
You go to Spotify mixes? So it's more of a playlist?
They have,
Or
yeah. Like I'll just like browse playlists on Spotify all the time,
mixes
because
on
like all the
Spotify.
music I listen to, like it gets old so fast. So yeah, I'll browse. They have like specific like running playlists, and then they have like the number of like beats per minute or whatever on there,
Oh,
and I can
interesting.
search by that to find like
What's your favorite tempo to run to?
I think it's like 180 or something. That sounds fast,
180?
but
Listen to hard style in there,
right?
yeah, yeah.
Nice.
We'll ask Matthias too, because I'm sure he feels very strongly about the subject. How important do you think it is for someone who is a DJ to be making their own music?
Oh, that's a good question. Very good question. How important is it for a DJ to be making their own?
If it is important, do you think it's important at all?
I think it's up to that person, to the individual. There's no,
Okay.
I can't say that it is or that it isn't. It just depends. Every person is going to answer that their own way. I think in general, if you want to be a DJ, you don't need to make your own music. People are making it for you all over the place. That's the beauty of it. You just play a lot of stuff that you like, and you can make money making sure that you show up and play the right stuff at the right volume, and that's like never gonna go away. People will always need that, but there is like a opportunity out there for a DJ to go beyond the service level and become a composer and a DJ, and then that takes the career to a whole different level. So if you're okay with just DJing bars and clubs and weddings and that's cool. Yeah, that's fine. You are gonna, that makes you happy, that's what matters. But if you feel an itch that you would like to express yourself, musically in your own way, and make your own version of what you do, then you'll never be satisfied unless you are doing that. And you're, at least trying and putting out something occasionally to, give yourself that satisfaction that you're contributing to the community. In 200 years, if iTunes is still around or Apple Music, your tracks are still going to be there. Even if they sucked, they'll still be there. You contributed something.
I hope we make it
Authors,
that long.
painters, everybody that's not creating or not in a field where you're not being a creative person or contributing to your field, it's not very noble. Whatever you're doing, you better feel that way, or at least contribute that way. You know, if not,
It's a very deep answer.
yeah, I'm sorry, I can bag it up.
No, you're good. No, I liked how thorough it was. What got you into music production, Matthias?
The 8-track tape recorder I had when I was like 10 years old, 11 years old, when I took it on vacation, and I had a guitar, and I was in South America in Argentina. I had a little 8-track, and I played. My brother and I played guitar, and this is where I learned about layering, where we could record one guitar, and then hit the next button and record a guitar over that, then go back and play them both at the same time, and we had 2 guitars going at the same time.
What is
that?
that?
Was the
What is
beginning.
a track?
That's when I fell in love. It's basically a cassette player that has been recorded on 8 times over and over and over and over again. You can record 8 things onto one cassette and play it back. And
I'm
play
kidding.
sequences.
Most people listening to this probably know what that is, but some people.
You never know.
So thank you for that
Yeah,
explanation.
it's old technology. But that's I think where I was really like if I could pinpoint a moment, that's where I think I was really inspired. And then from there
That's awesome.
we built the band, and we had that whole spiel for years.
So you're doing more recording stuff before you were doing like digital or electronic.
Yeah, the digital.
production?
Then I went into the vocals only side of like stuff for a while. But then making your own stuff from the back end up, not stepping back from the vocals and going at it from completely the other way, from the drums up. It helped that I've been playing drums, but I never played guitar.
Mm-hmm.
I did, but not like my brother.
Yeah.
It's like a machine,
Gotcha.
I can't. He's disgusting. It's insane. My best friend George is a massively incredible good bass player. So all those like specific instruments I never mastered. So like getting into the production work, you're attacking the core of a track first. It's easier to finish the top end if you're a vocalist. You can hear a track that's already been done.
What is the top end?
Top end is the last layer, the vocals.
Oh, okay.
That's typically, everybody has their tracks out there, unless they're original. Like Maroon 5 has written majority of their music, but a lot of other people don't. So they come in and they record over the beat. Future has beats from like 16 different producers on one album.
On the same song sometimes.
Yeah, it's so
these days.
When you're just finishing it off, just adding the vocal track, if you're a good vocalist, like it's pretty cake. Making that beat fucking took probably hours. Yeah, you're definitely spending hours laying down the right vocal takes, and you definitely spent time writing the words and everything, but it's a different kind of work than it's like engineers versus it's complicating. I don't know.
I can't wait to hear the comments on this from all the singer-songwriters and vocalists.
Yeah, this is gonna be great. If you feel differently about what Matthias has just said about the topic, please leave a comment below and let us know what you think.
It's definitely, guys, just to make sure, I am very
Matthias was
aware
vocalist. He knows
that this is a make or break last layer. The last layer, it might be the easiest, but it's only if you're really good at your job. If you're not that good, you're gonna struggle, and you might fuck the whole song up, and that track goes to hell. It goes to the waste. It gets skipped every time.
Yeah.
Because you ruined it with your voice.
Yeah, because I've definitely heard. He's not wrong though about that, because I've definitely listened to songs and thought, wow, this is a great beat, or this is a great melody, or great whatever, and then
Yeah.
you're like, the singing though,
is annoying.
or these lyrics, I don't know.
That's
It could
I
go
know what
both
you mean.
ways. You could have a great voice and trying to record on a terrible beat. Maybe because you need to
feel like-
collaborate with somebody that can.
I feel like you don't hear that often.
Yeah.
Like I never am like, wow, this singing is mind blowing, but the beat is bad.
All right, as long as the beat is in time, I guess it's probably going to be fine. Maybe the melody and the harmonies and stuff like
Or
that.
maybe just by the time like you're hearing that song with really good recording, they probably have a good producer by that time.
Yeah.
So I feel like that might be it too.
Yeah, how many songs that make it big had a secret previous version? That happens a lot.
Or how many versions? Yeah, how many
Right,
versions of the song
right.
were there?
There were many before, and then you realize, oh man, this radio version was juiced up. You know, it was not
Did we talk about that Lizzo song on the last podcast?
no.
No.
Which one?
Which one does she have with Ariana Grande?
I feel like I should know this.
Come on, guys. I thought every girl was a Lizzo expert. Jeez.
Oh man.
They're an expert at knowing they want to hear some Lizzo. Play some Lizzo.
Absolutely.
Can you play something new like some Lizzo?
Something new. Lizzo. And anyways, but the song that she has with Ariana Grande, I'm looking up right now. That song was made with just Lizzo on it. Good as Hell. That's the song.
Oh.
But the song came out in 2016 originally with just Lizzo.
I guess I didn't know Ariana was
But it's
on
like
that
a
track.
new. It's like a new song.
I didn't know that
that's
either.
an
Sorry.
excellent
Well,
example,
she
though.
added it.
2016.
The song is from 2016,
Yeah.
but the one with Ariana Grande on it is new. So she just re-released it with Ariana Grande on it with her, because now
Right.
she could afford to get that type of feature.
Okay.
Now that she was like more famous.
Wow.
So that's like a good example. Like how old can a song be, and you just
Exactly.
re-release it when you're hot, and then
Right.
it's okay.
Totally. I mean, a lot of that has to do with the samples that are in the song and the sound of the song at the time, and like even the tempo. God forbid, we're in a tempo war right now between like the 120s.
Who is?
And, no, I'm just kidding.
Who's in the tempo war?
I am with myself.
This is imaginary.
It is. Yeah.
I play all the tempos, even the 180s.
So do I, unfortunately. Even which one?
She said her favorite tempo to run to is 180 BPM.
That makes a lot of sense, because 75 is my favorite tempo. And wait, 180? 180?
That's really fast. Am I wrong? Did I make that?
I was waiting for him to realize it.
180.
180
I feel
is
like that's what it is.
hardstyle. I mean, but
That's
it just depends
way too
on.
fast. No.
Well, it might be like
It's-
90.
there's no way you're running that fast. You'd be a fucking cheetah. on
You don't know. Hey, let her.
Well, I haven't seen her run.
I
I don't know.
Okay.
No.
I'm gonna have to look this up later because I might be
When
way
you're-
off.
If you're hauling ass like at a comfortable pace, you're at like 160, I think.
You don't run at a BPM, Matthias. So.
You
What do
can.
Well, it's not like I'm like
What, like
running
each
like
step?
every little step like
Like
that.
is it beat or half a
but
beat?
it's
like,
like
how do you
So let me
Yeah.
I'll give you an example. So I pay attention to that a lot when I'm running. I like the up tempo dance music because it's easier to lock in the beat. But if anything lower than 128, if you're a fast runner, it's almost too slow. So if you're if you're running very fast and you're
I usually run where every time my foot hits the ground, the beat is
Yes, that's 150. 150, you're fucking flying. You're
Really?
flying.
I don't think I'm running that fast.
No, you're probably not. It's
just
this is 150. Halftime, think of it.
yeah, but that
Let me get my
seems.
BPM counter out.
150. This is about 150.
Okay. Let's go faster. What's 170?
170. It's up there. And 180. We're
gonna-
gonna
we're gonna
Can we
pull
play
Spotify
it? Yeah,
running playlists
play it
here.
for me and then I'll.
I disagree. I just run to songs that
No,
Make me
of
wanna
course,
kill someone.
You can't disagree. I'm just saying,
Whatever the tempo is.
It might not humanly be possible to run at 180.
I know, but
Or
I
like
feel like I'm
running at
running it. I
180,
feel
like-
like I'm like listening to that, but like running it like maybe like half that. I don't know.
Yeah, because like you don't know what someone's pace is
No,
listening
but
to a
you
song.
don't-
Because I'll listen to something that's like 60 BPM and be like running like a 6.5 minute mile.
At what tempo?
Yeah.
Like 60.
Which is 120.
'Cause when you're-
Yes.
So this is the
Because when your feet are, yeah,
So that's like, yeah, 160ish.
yeah. Let's look at it.
What is this?
This is the run and bass 170 to 175 BPM.
Yeah, this is. Like
We
what
Are
I
Made of
wanted.
Light by Deuce and Charger. So they have a couple different playlists here on Spotify. There's
That did
150
sound
to
like a sprint, though.
165.
That sounds like
No,
you're
it's
off.
not. It's literally like, if that's what my.
Yeah, but see, so you're a different example.
How is Dan
You're just so
Shea
much
on a
faster
running
than he
playlist?
is. He can't comprehend the pacing that you're going at.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
But if you fucking, I mean, I don't know.
I think I-
Turn the cameras on.
Yo, that is about to be a GIF. It's about to be a 360 GIF.
Yeah, this running tempo. It's like a whole. It's a whole separate chapter. I think.
I don't run enough to be in this debate.
How about
No,
workouts? Do you work out at all? Do you go to the gym?
It's,
yeah.
You know what's interesting? I don't think.
But, like,
it's-
same thing, I don't have a
I don't
tempo.
think you can really like. You can really have an absolute answer because. Not sure how that happened, but yeah. Everybody's
Dinosaur
like
research,
running is different. Their legs,
the
their
metronome
height,
mix
their
of,
tempo, their speed.
Biggie.
So it's very. You might be running at 180, which would be very fast, but that would be. I mean, if you're taking smaller strides.
That's what I was gonna say. I feel like I take like long strides, and that's why it's slower because it's
Yes,
like it's
it would
like
be.
yeah. So I think that's why I need like the faster beat. I don't know.
Yeah, I think it just depends on the pace you're running at. But like you were asking about working out in general,
Yeah.
I don't really think about the tempo that much as long as
How do you not think?
as
about the
long
tempo?
as well, I know what tempo it is, but I'm not thinking about that when I'm working out as much as I'm thinking, is it gonna bother me or like throw me off if I hear weights clinking to the song? Like if when I'm doing like a rep or something, like is the beat and like that
Right. It's
repetition
just
gonna
more
throw
of
me
a
off?
positive vibe
Yeah.
type of
Yeah.
thing.
Sure.
Like we used to make DJ mixes every month, and it was 128 BPM every time for the first couple years at least.
Gross.
And yep.
No, I'm kidding.
Go ahead. And people kept asking us, this would be a great workout mix. This would be a great workout mix. So we had everything on SoundCloud and then just send everybody the link on Facebook or wherever people were.
That's
And,
128 is good. It's almost too slow though. If you're a healthy person,
bro. Now he's the doctor talking about the song tempo.
128 is a little slow. I'm just saying. It's a little
we're
slow.
gonna once again we're gonna watch for the comments here.
What's your
So
Okay.
your 180 is what is 90 technically.
Okay.
It's all you're.
how is it
talking
technically?
half
though? What is
Because
the technical
it's-
part of
Matthias
this?
only makes beats in halftime.
I literally only make beats in halftime. That's probably why I'm so confused. But
No, that makes sense.
what is your resting heartbeat? Like, are we going by those BPMs? Are we going by the steps? Like, I'm confused.
Resting your heart.
Or like active heart BPM. You know what I'm saying? Like, what are we going off of?
I'm going off of like a song that I'm listening to that I know the tempo for, and I lock in.
But is each beat a step? That's what I'm asking.
Yes.
I'm trying to get the
Yes.
answers. Okay.
I think we're a little off
Each
track
beat
here.
each beat is a step. Yes. No, we're still talking about music.
Someone is listening to this and wants to fight us, right? Like all of you guys. What are you talking about? Well,
SPE Studio in Lombard. Come on by. We're here every Wednesday.
We've also got treadmills, so.
Workout facility.
Yoga
we do
room.
need to end.
Flexible use space.
Right.
We're gonna track your tempo. Get on the treadmill while we time your piece.
But Justin, you're also a music producer. What got you into music production, or like, how did you start?
I feel like we had this conversation. It might not have been on one of the podcasts, but
We may have like a little bit, but just going back to it.
when I've always loved music. I wanted to learn how to DJ. I thought being a DJ was producing music. So once I learned how to DJ, I was like, this sucks. I want to learn how to actually make the music.
I mean, a lot of people think that though.
So I started remixing the tracks that I was DJing in GarageBand, adding beats to them, making them sound my way. This is before I knew you could get stems or acapellas or anything like that. And the more YouTube videos you watch and the more you Google and the more people in the industry that you end up meeting and talking to throughout your career as a DJ or producer, the better you get. And here I am It's the third week of January, and I have not worked on a single track this year.
New Year,
Because,
you.
yeah,
I mean,
that was not part of my New Year's resolution, although it should have been.
Have you ever released a track on your own accord? Do you have any music available for anyone to hear?
Nothing solo, and well, there are some things, but they haven't been released. So what I actually wanted to add to this earlier, though, you asked a question maybe 20 minutes ago about how important it is for a DJ to also produce, and I wanted to respond to the flip of that question was how important it is for a producer to be a DJ if you're producing music to be played at a club or at a festival.
Mm-hmm. I think that can help you for sure.
It's huge. I think it's almost essential because once you have gone through, you go through the music every week when new music comes out, and you pick stuff that you like and you pick stuff that you don't like because you know that it's going to work on the floor, or at least you hope it will, because you can envision it working into your set. So if you want to produce music for a DJ, you need to know why a DJ picks music to put in their set, especially if you're trying to make a track that, if you're not a super popular producer already and you want to get noticed, people are scrolling through music looking for good stuff that's going to work in their set, and you need to know why they think that. So if you've had that experience behind the booth, rocking a floor, playing the wrong song, and not rocking the floor, you know what to pick, and most importantly, you know what aspects of a song you don't want to have in there. Yeah,
like a sudden tempo switch, like in the new Drake and Future song. Have you guys listened to that? Life is Good?
No.
It's like Drake.
Wait, yes, I have.
It's like Drake's part. I think I listened to it with you. It's like Drake's part, and then bang, Future's part comes in, totally different beat, totally different tempo.
It reminded me of what's that track from like
Sicko
2 years ago?
Mode.
Sicko Mode. It reminded me of Sicko Mode. But I like Sicko Mode. I like this one too. But
they didn't do it in a cool way, how they did with Sicko Mode or like DNA, how it had like transition to
the
a different
flow
song.
is not the same.
There's no transition. It's just like bang, you're in it. And I'm like, you might as well have just released two different songs. You guys aren't even on the same beat.
Yeah, maybe that's a thing.
Or maybe they were both like, I got like this cool 1 minute. You want to put them together? And they're like, sure. And then they just release it like
it's on the radio. Both of us have heard it.
But yeah, I do agree with you that being able to DJ and like compare your own songs to songs that you might play out is good, because you could work on like whatever music you want. But sometimes if you're working on a song, you'll be like, okay, people are definitely going to dance to this. Like I know that this is going to be, I can definitely fit this in at whatever portion of the night. Because like maybe you are making songs that are just like openers, and that's okay, because DJs need openers too. But if you're like trying to make bangers, it's definitely important that you like can tell the vibe that you're going for when you're making the song, like how you're going to play it or how other people would play it. Because if you don't have that experience, then that's a whole, like basically whole psychology that you aren't in tune with that other DJs are.
What about you? Does DJing make you want to get more into production, or you just don't care? Do you want to have samples at least to add to your mix, or you just like using what's out there?
I don't know that for me right now it's a real big concern. I've been DJing now full-time for just over 6 months. Prior to that, it was part-time with a full-time job. So to think of on top of DJing and working full-time, committing to creating music, it's that in and of itself is overwhelming.
You're probably getting too much sleep. Just take that out, and you can make a lot of music.
So I mean, and moving forward, I suppose, it's something I might become interested in trying out. I think it's the same thing as, you talk about people who make it as really popular cover bands, and you ask them, do you guys have any interest in making your own music? A friend of mine is part of 3 bands that are the same band, but covers one of them is band. All covers, one of them is all original music.
Oh, okay.
Because within their band in and of itself, they disagree on whether or not they should make their own music or do covers. I think that honestly it's the same thing. It's the same thing as DJs that want to make their own music and put out their own music, or DJs who want to play other music.
Because I've seen a lot of DJs now that they'll have an alias for like when they DJ,
Exactly,
and then an
yeah.
alias for when they produce. Like even like Chicago like local people. Yeah, I mean, I didn't know if that was like actually decided or not, but
No, we'll see what happens.
yeah,
Everyone catches on
He's like,
first.
I don't know yet. We'll see which one. We'll see which one we go with. Because I've also like had that debate in my mind, like, oh, should I do like another alias? Because I'll DJ like a hip hop or like top 40 club, but I'm not playing like my own tracks all the time. Like I make a lot of like electronic future bass or like heavier trap stuff, and like I could try and play some future bass, but people are just gonna be like, can you put on some DaBaby or what? So like a lot of the times like I wait for the perfect situation to be able to play my stuff, which I don't think there's anything wrong with. But would I like to play out more of my tracks? Definitely. But does that mean I need to get my tracks more popular, or I just need to find a different situation to play those tracks in? So I guess it just depends on like what you're going for. And I already like my DJ name, so coming up with another alias would be pretty hard. What about for like releases? Do you guys think that, because I feel like there's a lot of pressure nowadays to try and release music like all the time, or else people think they're going to be forgotten. And this isn't only just for DJs. This is like in the art world, the music world, video world, like anything. People just feel like they constantly need to be putting stuff out versus maybe spending a little bit more quality time on tracks they really like, or like maybe waiting to put like a whole album together.
I wish I knew why music became super popular throughout the bar and club and festival and radio scene, whichever one, pick one. Because there's so much garbage out there that people are begging for me to play. And then there's so much good music that goes unnoticed. And if I try and play it, which I always try and do at least some stuff here and there.
Like especially the stuff you like.
Yeah. And it might go along perfectly with something that's super popular, and I might even think it's better produced. But people need, when you're DJing, one of the key things is to play stuff that is familiar to people.
Yeah.
Because otherwise they're going to look at you like, what's this? I haven't heard this before. And I'm like, well, you'll hear it in a couple days.
Yeah.
But at that
Every
moment.
new track that comes out.
Right. And so I don't know if it matters whether you release things often or whether you put your effort into better production and release something that's of better quality. I mean, that's relative too, because it's how can you decide what's better or not?
What is good?
It's what does the listener want to hear?
Yeah, I guess we won't get into like what is good.
Yeah,
that's so hard to describe.
What I will say is it's probably a good idea to not sit on stuff for too long, because with the exception of a few artists, most people are producing music that fits into what's popular right now. It's relatable. It sounds similar to something that they've heard before. And if that's your game, you do need to release it right now and not wait until 6 months from now when you, not that it's wrong to copy anyone's style, but if you're trying to, produce a track that's similar to a style that's popular right now, it's not going to be cool in 6 months to 12 months.
And
so just get it done.
And that
get
just shows like how different it is now, because you say release it before 6 months goes by. People used to just release like one album a year.
Yeah.
And that was all you needed to do, and it was okay. But now I feel like just because of the market and then, like what you said, people are making what is trendy at the time, that if you're not releasing stuff like within a few months, like it can in some way hurt you. And not hurt you because that means that your music is bad, but hurt you in the way that like people aren't seeing your music as much. And that goes again to like, because there's so many people releasing stuff nowadays. I don't know. I kind of have a new game plan for this year, because last year I barely released anything.
Yeah, what the heck happened?
DJing, man. I was DJing way too many gigs.
And that's the thing. Like, there's two different sides to this whole thing. There's the fucking love of DJing, regardless if you play any of your own shit.
Yeah,
at all.
yeah.
I don't give a shit half the time if I'm playing. Yeah, I might have spent like 40 hours on a track in the last 2 weeks, literally just digging into this thing. I mean, the amount of time that I've spent working on a song, on just little things, and then do I show up to like my gig and be like, oh, I'm gonna play this song and it's gonna be great? No, fuck that. You don't worry about that shit on the day of your.
You're also a mature DJ though that knows that. Like some younger DJs that might be like, I just made this track, I need to play it. This is the only gig I have. I need to play my track.
Right,
you know,
open up your world a little bit, man. The track that you've been working on, you can put out there gently, softly. Just get it out when you're done.
Nudge.
Yeah, just put it out. And
out into
sure,
the
if people like it and they listen to it, great. But like you did that for yourself. At the end of the day,
I'm a firm believer in that.
The DJ side of us is not about playing what we created on our own. If it happens to fit in wonderfully, great. If you remix a very well-known song and it's obviously better than the original, more power to you.
Yeah.
But most guys that are working on original stuff, and it's completely there's no place for it in a 2-hour window where you have, or an hour to get people dancing. There's no time for your shit, right? You're right. And that's the thing. People get, don't be discouraged by that. Separate your DJ from your artist until one day, if you're lucky, they become the same thing, and that's all you get to do is play some of your own stuff. But still, at the end of the day, I would never just play my own goddamn songs over and over again, weekend after weekend, in a Vegas club. I'm gonna need to get on the Odyssey and rock a party, playing some Dancing Queen and watching girls go fucking crazy to the, shit. I'm always gonna want to do those gigs, because that's where the real magic of everybody coming together, loving music that they all recognize from all different decades. That's completely different than our producer dreams, or we just want to play something back and be like, that shit is good, and I love it, and I made it, and I worked with my friends on it, and I don't give a shit how many people heard it.
Yeah,
I don't care.
I agree with that.
I want that in my life, in my portfolio, and I want to put that away with me. Like, that's important to me. But if you're making music to please people, it's never.
I don't think there's anything wrong with making music to please people, because you could use that to your advantage. Like if you're DJing out and you have the chance to play your own music, I think you can definitely use that to your advantage. But if you're only making stuff for other people to hear, and you also maybe don't even like it, you're just making it for those other people, then I think it's bad.
So
for the most part, it should be for you.
Anytime you spend time working on a song, if you're making it to please someone, you've been commissioned to do a certain task. I need a song that sounds like I need a reggae beat for this little fucking 14-second blip on a commercial. And people do that. They'll just make a little reggae beat. It goes in the back of a person talking on a very low budget commercial. And there's tons of people that make jingles or mini tracks like that. And sure, if you're making it for someone, if you're making music for other people, that's how you make.
Like for an artist, you mean, or you yourself?
If you can't picture yourself or people getting into it, then you're not gonna get behind it. You're not gonna like it.
I think it depends on the situation. Because if, say, you're a producer for like rappers, if Future's like, hey, I need you to make a club banger, I'm making a club banger. You know what I mean?
You are going to like it. You first and foremost. You have.
Well, I like it regardless because I made it. You know what I'm saying?
So you made it for you first. You didn't make it for someone else. You had to fucking check it first. You had to make it. You're in the process, and when you finally bounce that track, if you're not satisfied with it, you're not gonna say these people are gonna like it, because if you don't fucking like it, nobody's gonna like it. You are the first check mark.
Yeah, because if you're not going to push it, why would anyone else get behind it?
Right.
That makes sense. Last thing, just to wrap it up in a few minutes. How long does it take you to work on tracks usually?
Depends on if I'm producing with somebody else or not.
Like who?
There's I don't know, maybe
streams.
Maybe somebody at this table.
So let's say if you work with Anthony.
If I work
on a
with
track,
Anthony, it's going to be done in a week. If I work with Matthias, it'll be done hopefully in a century.
I'm a fast producer though. I try and make my songs really fast
dude,
because
and
I
you
get
know
sick
what
of
the
them.
average of
to
this
them.
is one song out last year between the three of us.
Yeah.
So you're like in the middle. You're super quick. I take forever. So the average is now.
The
We
average
should
is now.
work together a little more.
Yeah. I mean, if we worked on more tracks, we would get more of them done quicker.
Definitely.
But like the last time I was in the studio with someone, I produced and then had the singer write a song, and that was all within like 5 hours in one day. Got a decent mix on it, and then was able to like test it out on a few different speaker systems. But I also, like I was saying earlier, I don't like listening to my music over and over again because I get sick of it. So if I can like knock it all out in one day, and then the next time I listen to it, I'm mixing it, and the next time I'm listening to it again, I'm mastering it, then cool, I can release it. But that's the only reason I try and produce fast. If I didn't care, then I probably would take longer. So I think it just depends on your production style. Because if I listen to like my song for a few hours, I'm like, all right, I'm starting to hate this. Like, I gotta take breaks away from it. Any other thoughts on?
That's universal. I think everybody has that feeling. I think everyone would agree that
Okay.
minimize your playback.
I wouldn't say I listen to my track after a couple hours I hate it. I'd say maybe it gets a little stale to my ears.
And that's the thing. That's why.
And I wanna come in with fresh ears.
Back, and that's why sometimes people.
Well, not hate it after a couple hours, but once if I
Figured
keep
I'd
listening-
clarify there.
If I keep listening to it, I will hate it though. I will start to hate it. I'll be like, this isn't even good. What was I thinking? Next track.
Right. But we're also talking. Think about the timeline when Justin and I started making a song together only a few years ago. We're complaining about not releasing a bunch of stuff. Well, we don't know what the fuck we're doing.
Yeah, there's a lot of learning
no
in that
idea
time.
what this shit is all
Thank
about.
you for defending yourself.
I'm like,
Justin was trying to throw you under the bus and say, yo, this guy releases one song every 2 years.
You know, I love playing this stuff, but I'm a I come from the rock band world, not the DJ world. So I've been literally like working on getting there, but releasing and finishing a song it takes commitment and
Compromise.
Another reason.
compromise. But we're done. We have our song Viper. It's sitting there. We're waiting for it. He's just got to pay me.
Yo, yeah, where was the contract? I don't remember writing up a contract for this one for royalties or anything. What's going on? But I also think one more reason that I think that producing quickly is important is so that you can get your stuff out there. Because I always look at, especially people who are younger than me, like there's like 15-year-old kids that are making songs on their computer in like a day, releasing them, getting thousands of plays. I'm like, yo, I need to release some more tracks because I just need to keep up with everybody. You know what I'm saying? There's a little bit of that aspect, like trying to keep up with the other producers. Because there's some people who will sit and make like 10 tracks in a day, like at a crazy rate. And the only way to keep up with people releasing all that music is to make more music too.
And then you got to play Fortnite and throw it on in the background for your Twitch broadcast so people can hear it.
Or put it on TikTok and make a dance.
That too.
That's where.
Well, always
Kelsey,
remember
how are
the
those dance moves
quality
coming? We need
versus
a new
quantity.
TikTok video.
Yes.
I have never used TikTok.
No.
No.
Really?
Yeah,
Never.
never.
Do you have it on your phone?
No.
I mean, I
Wow.
wouldn't either. I just use it to look for new music, to be honest.
Right.
Because now that's a place where
Yeah.
people are putting new music. Yeah. I think we're about ready to wrap it up here. Just think we're good. Any last thoughts? All right. Well, thank you everyone for listening in. This podcast is brought to you by SPE Studios in Lombard. You can check us out at www.soprimeentertainment.com/studio. And we'll talk to you next week. Bye. Great work, everyone.
Rock and roll.
We made it through another one.
Are we gonna do the?
After some editing, this guy is over there listening.
Are we gonna do the post podcast
Matt,
podcast?
Matt,
Because we didn't.
Matt,
Because we didn't do the
Matt.
pre-podcast.
All right,
Can you
enough
hear
of
me?
these beers. Bring out the hard liquor.
He's
That's-
over here.
that's in the
doing
little
over there?
fridge.
He's been watching. He's been listening to us the whole time over there.
that's in what?
The little fridge.
Oh, in the little fridge?
Yeah.
Is it really?
Yeah,
What's in the little fridge?
The hard
the
liquor.
hard liquor.